Some wild animals are just so adorable. You can't help but want to pet them, cuddle them, or maybe even take one home with you. Well, not so fast. Some of the cutest wild animals can be extremely dangerous under the wrong circumstances. From primates that act like cobras to colorful miniature octopuses. There's a whole host of adorable, deadly critters out there, and today, on the Animal Shelter, we're going over our top 8 picks. Number 8. Kangaroo. Who doesn't love a kangaroo? They carry their babies in a pouch. It doesn't get much cuter than that, right? While kangaroo attacks are rare, if you spot one in the wild, kangaroo experts say you need to get away from them as fast as you can. That doesn't mean turning around and running as it might chase after you, but turning to the side, protecting your chest with your arms, and avoiding eye contact to let it know you're not a threat. One expert, Ian Tempe, has said if you're standing up, the kangaroo can kick you with its hind feet, and that can pretty much rip you open.
Knockout.
The most common attacks happen when a dog owner tries to protect their pet when it's chasing a kangaroo, sometimes leading to those incredibly powerful legs being used against you. Although they're more likely to attack during mating season, at least the rumor about them going into bodies of water to drown their prey isn't totally accurate. Kangaroo ecologists explain that these guys will instinctually go to water if they're threatened by a predator. Still, this might lead to dogs or other animals drowning if they pursue these guys. So you're much better off just keeping Spot on a leash if they're prone to chasing Australian wildlife. Number 7. Poison dart frog. The poison dart frog may not be the cuddliest creature on this list, but what it lacks in fluff, it makes up for in beauty. This frog is one of the most brilliantly colored animals on the planet, coming in different hues of yellow, gold, copper, red, green, blue, and even black. At just 1 inch tall, the poison dart frog is about the size of a paperclip, and they're native to tropical rainforests in Central and South America. Yet their group name, Army, should give you a hint about how dangerous these critters really are. A 2-inch long golden poison frog has enough poison in its tiny body to kill 10 grown men. Indigenous people in Colombia have even used their poison to tip their blowgun darts for hunting for centuries, hence the name poison dart frog. Interestingly enough, some studies have reported their poison isn't necessarily made by the frogs themselves, but because of the ants they eat. These frogs can store toxic alkaloid molecules in their glands without being harmed, which explains why these same frogs, if raised in captivity, lack these toxic defenses of their wild counterparts. But don't write these little guys off just yet. The medical community has been developing some of their poison and say that it may have a promising future as a painkiller. A few years ago, chemists recreated the deadly frog poison in a lab because, as one chemist put it, their poison is a fantastic research tool for figuring out how nerves conduct electricity. The more we understand how the compounds of this poison can cause paralysis, the more we can understand the role of electrical impulses in our body when it comes to heart function and the sensation of pain. Number 6. Polar bear. Ed Zebedee, director of the Government of Nunavut Protective Services branch, infamously told the Sydney Morning Herald that polar bears are the only animal that will definitely stalk a human and eat them. Although most humans aren't exactly about to encounter a polar bear in the wild, 73 attacks have been recorded in the past 130 years all the same. While most bears are omnivorous, there are carnivorous polar bears out there that seem to attack out of starvation. About 2/3 of recorded attacks have been by young male polar bears struggling to survive, while the rest were mostly mothers defending cubs. About 90% of said attacks also occurred between July and December, when sea ice, their hunting platform, is at its lowest. Unlike other bears, polar bears need to hunt to get food, and as fatty seal populations decrease, some clearly turns their attention to humans. While polar bears seem to see humans as a last resort food source if necessary, maybe we don't taste that great. This still means we're probably better off keeping our distance during those summer months. Number 5. Blue-ringed octopus. For our number 6 spot of cute but deadly animals, we've got the blue-ringed octopus. This little guy falls into the same category as the poison dart frog. While they may not be particularly fuzzy, the blue-ringed octopus is incredible and psychedelic to look at. Though its yellow coloring is consistent and perfect for hiding in the sandy bottom of tide pools and coral reefs, the blue rings only appear when this miniature octopus is threatened. This serves as a pretty clear warning for predators to stay away, including humans. The blue-ringed octopus's venom is so powerful that it's considered not 10, not 100, but 1,000 times more powerful than cyanide, and it stores enough to kill 26 humans within minutes. Worse yet, this critter's bite is relatively painless, so by the time you realize you've been bitten, it might be too late. But don't get too scared of the ocean just yet. There have been no known deaths from the blue-ringed octopus since the 1960s. As deadly as they are, these octopuses keep their hands, or their tentacles, to themselves. So as long as you keep your hands to yourself while around these guys, there's no cause for alarm. Number 4. Tasmanian Devil. The Tasmanian Devil, depicted as Taz in Looney Tunes, can be as wild and feisty as its cartoon counterpart. Weighing in at about 9 to 26 pounds, Tasmanian devils are the world's largest carnivorous marsupials. They have sharp teeth and strong jaws that mean that they have some serious capability to bite. Although they may not be total devils per se, they're most rowdy when tearing apart a large carcass. These not-so-little guys will eat anything they can get their hands on, including hair and bones from their prey. Tasmanian devils so prefer scavenging to hunting, but their noises and threatening gape during food rituals give them a bad rep. Their rough play, biting, wrestling, and chewing also contributes to their fiendish name, even if it's not wholeheartedly deserved. It's no wonder people are afraid of these misunderstood beasties. Just look at their massive toothy yawn on display. Tasmanian devils may not be dangerous to humans that don't intend to harm them, but so long as they sleep inside the bodies of their prey and the adults continue to eat their young, that devilish name seems here to stay. Number 3. Panda bears. Sticking to the bear family, pandas can also be incredibly dangerous and deadly. Regarded as a Chinese national treasure, pandas are far more than cute faces and black and white fur. In captivity, they won't hesitate to take a bite from a human if you provoke them. In September 2006, one drunken tourist visiting Beijing City Zoo found this out the hard way when he jumped into the giant panda enclosure and tried to pet one. His right calf was severely bitten and needed surgical treatment. In the next 3 years, 2 more attacks took place after people fell into said enclosure, and the pandas felt understandably threatened. Pandas may be adorable, but they are bears after all. Giant pandas in particular have been placed in multiple different families throughout the years. The bear family, Ursidae, the raccoon family, Prochionidae, and their own unique family, Ailuropodidae, depending on who's been researching them and what characteristics they focused on. Like bears, not only are pandas incredibly protective of their young, but their canines and claws can do some serious damage. Attacks on humans may be rare, but if you climb or even fall into their enclosure, don't expect a cuddle. Number 2. Slow loris. The pygmy slow loris, more commonly known as the slow loris, is probably our favorite on this list in terms of cute factor. Just look at those big brown eyes. They're great at avoiding predators by curling up into a tight ball, foraging at night, staying still for long periods of time, and, surprisingly, producing venom on demand. Not only are they the only known venomous primate, but they're said to move in a serpentine fashion like a cobra, thanks to the extra vertebrae in their spines. When they're on the defense, these slow lorises are anything but slow. They secrete toxins from their inner arms, suck the venom from their armpits, and strike incredibly quickly. Slow loris are popular on the black market for their appearance, despite their bites having caused anaphylactic shock and death in humans before. Doesn't seem like the smartest pet choice to us. Anyway, because of this behavior, their hissing, similar markings, and the fact that the slow loris and cobra have lived and migrated throughout the same parts of Asia 8 million years ago, it's no wonder that researchers believe the slow loris may have evolved to mimic the deadly snakes. Number 1. Moose. Last on our list is the moose. Moose seem to be perceived as gentle, majestic giants by some, but that's not true in the slightest. In fact, more people in Alaska are injured by moose than bears each year. Although these moose are around 6 foot tall or more up to their shoulder and can weigh anywhere from 800 to 600 pounds as adults, just like much of the wildlife we've mentioned today, they probably won't mess with you if you don't mess with them. However, if you've got a dog that chases or is aggressive towards them, it can be a recipe for disaster. In Alaska, it's also illegal to feed moose because if they become conditioned to take food from humans, they may lash out if not given anything. Even small moose calves aren't a good idea to mess with, as they weigh 300 to 400 pounds by their first winter. You'll know if you've irritated a moose because it may act as if it's going to charge, kicking forward with front hooves, laying back its ears, and licking its lips. Hopefully, you'll never get this close to a moose to see it exhibit this behavior in the first place. Your best bet in a moose encounter is to get behind something solid and curl up in a ball. Running won't do you much good if one of these guys decides to chase after you. According to our research, when a moose does hurt someone, the attack is often provoked, whether that's a dog barking at them, a person throwing something at them, or when mothers are protective of their young calves. As long as you're careful on northern roads where there may be moose crossing and never feed these guys, chances are you'll never have to worry about a moose encounter gone wrong. There you have our picks for cute animals that are actually deadly. Did any entry on this list surprise you? Are there animals that you think we've missed? Let us know in the comments. Subscribe to the channel for more exciting animal videos like this one where we talk about the most expensive animals in the world.